Hello, Mixtresses and Mixters. This is Mixtress Ray. You're watching Mixtress Video, and it's time again for another unfair comparisons video. I think I'm gonna move my. This is gonna be a standing video. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So, unfair comparisons. Thank you, first of all, to anyone that voted, to everyone that voted. I put this up as a vote to you guys of which two decks you wanted me to pit against each other. So we are doing Tarot of the Holy Spectrum versus Modern Witch today. As far as cardstock is concerned, it's up to personal preference, but the cardstock on Tarot of the Holy Spectrum is great. Listen to it. Can you hear it? It has that, it reminds me of Wild Unknown first edition. It's like matte and slippery, but not too slippery. It's kind of almost the perfect cardstock, to be honest. And then Modern Witch is very thick and stiff. So it's not, a lot of people really love it, but I love the imagery of Modern Witch so much. But the cardstock bugs me. But I'm a person that, like, I get kind of fixated on cardstock. So, okay. I'm going really close today, so I'm going to have to make sure I don't get him out of the shot during the flip through. Okay, so let's go. No animal in this one. That's a little sad to me. I really do like the animal companion in the Fool card. Both of these are great. I love the colors in Modern Witch, just all the colors in Modern Witch. And I like the idea that she is conjuring that energy and pulling it down through her. I like that, the energy lines in that. This Tarot of the Holy Spectrum High Priestess, I mean, I get that with the High Priestess, it's more about bringing your own knowledge to it. So I get the choice for having this card being predominantly white, but aesthetically, it bothers me. Both of these are absolutely gorgeous Empress cards. I love I wish there were a little bit more cards like this in Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, where there's like a pattern, because the way that he did his art is really interesting, where he chose to leave, like, he totally just left her hair white. Her hair is just an absence instead of it being like outlined, and it's not outlined at all. It's just negative space, which I like. And I like the textures of the lines. Like, he does that really well in this deck. And this card, if all the cards were like this card, I would be really happy with this deck. I'm not happy with it, but I've only had it like maybe a month, a few weeks, I don't know. Both great Emperors. I really like that this Emperor has no mouth, because I feel like if you were a good Emperor, you would be listening to your citizens instead of spouting your opinions all the time. You know, a good Emperor is going to be listening. So I like the no mouth quality. I like this also. She's closing her eyes and kind of listening to, again, it kind of flips it. Like, this person's teaching to her students. That's how you normally see the Hierophant. But this person is listening to, she's tapped in to the pulse of, you know, listening to higher beings or just other beings that can't speak as we do on this plane, you know? That's cool. I love a self-love card for lovers, or Two of Cups. So I really like that this is kind of like someone looking in a mirror. And it's kind of like she might have an amputated arm which I sort of like because, like, you don't normally see that. So I mean, it could just be that her arm is bent strangely behind her back, but I like to see it as her just not having an arm from the elbow down. I love this lover's card though. Choosing to see them from the back means that, like, you don't have to put a gender on these two, which I love. Like I said when I was doing the original flip through, I do not get this Chariot card. I still do not get it. Is it, I mean, you're supposed to be moving forward, but you can't move forward if you don't have wheels, and this person's stopping you too. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's more of a spiritual journey. Like, you're supposed to get out of the car, get out of your physical movement, and go towards this spirit being. That's the spirit. Maybe it's spiritual movement. So I guess I can go with that. Gorgeous. Both of these are so gorgeous. The only thing that bugs me is, I think I've said this before, but her shoes. Like, I just feel like the chick in the strength card, she would be barefoot, or she'd be wearing like simple little rope sandals or something. I don't think she'd be wearing these impractical little heels, but that's just me. Gorgeous. I like the simplicity of just using the 4 elements in the Wheel of Fortune card. But one of the things that's why I'm not even really commenting a lot on Modern Witch is because it is so Rider-Waite-Smith. It is just, it is the modern Rider-Waite-Smith to me. It's, you guys, I have a confession. I'll be probably putting a video up about it. I feel kind of guilty. I made kind of a morally ambiguous purchase. Kind of a morally bad purchase, to be honest. I bought from China a knockoff Modern Witch deck because, as you can see, this is the gilded version. This is the limited edition I bought directly from the publisher, Liminal 11. I also have another copy of this deck, as you've seen in some of my other videos, if you've watched my other videos, that is a trimmed copy that I bought from like Books A Million's website or something. So I have supported Liminal 11 and Lisa Sturl with the purchase of this Modern Witch deck. I bought 2 of the decks. In every single video, or most of my videos, I have this tarot cloth right here that you can see in the background, which is the Modern Witch. It came with the limited edition. So anyway, just receipts. I have paid the artist, but I bought a knockoff version of Modern Witch. It still hasn't come to me because it's coming from China. I bought it like a month ago, so it might not be here till like the end of the summer. But the reason why I did that is because I cannot shuffle this deck, and I want to use this deck pretty much. I want it to be my primary deck that I use for clients whenever I do my tarot readings. But the fact that I can't shuffle it means I don't reach for it very often, because that's part of my process. I really want to like get into shuffling, and I cannot shuffle this deck because I'm a bridge shuffler. Like, this is not a bridge shuffling deck. You really can't, or riffle shuffle or whatever you call it. You know, I like to really get in there and bend the cards, you know, but I can't do it with this deck. So I'm hoping that the knockoff is going to have what people would think of as crappier cardstock that I will enjoy shuffling with. Love this. Like, he just doesn't have enough cards in this deck that have flowers, but when they're done, they're so beautiful. This is interesting too. Like, anytime I see this like sort of like dotted line figure in Chase's artwork. Chase, right? Am I getting that right? Hold on, I've got the box right here. Chase Voorhees, yeah. Just the artist of Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I like it because it's just like a spiritual being is helping you out. It's a good substitute for the wings, you know? She doesn't have to have wings because she's got the spirit person kind of guiding her hand for her alchemy. But my God, look at this. I love this fucking deck so much. I really do. I like this devil card. It looks to me like Neil Gaiman. And I can work with that. I can work with that. Love it. And how he's kind of just reaching his hand out to you. Like, you have to take a step towards him. You know, the devil wants your consent. Like, he's gonna, like, do you wrong. And he's gonna be whispering evil things in your ear. But you have to consent to it, you know? The devil's not rapey. I like the green energy in the Tower card. And the fact that she's got this light around her sort of protecting her. It doesn't seem quite as tragic as this one does, where you have an impaled figure in this one. This one, when I first saw it, I had problems with it, but I get it now. When you have come out of that Tower energy and you're starting to gain a little bit of hope, like she's made it to this space where she can rest. You know, this is almost like she's made it to the calm shore after the Six of Swords. And now she's resting, but she doesn't have all of her strength back yet. The Star is about gathering that strength and the hope. It's restoring hope. It's not hope restored. It's restoring. It's still in, you're still in the process. So I get this. And God, look at that. I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again. Love to see pubic hair in a tarot deck. If somebody's going to be naked, I better see pubic hair. This one's really cool too, like these different paths that you can take. And the coloring is really cool because this is glow in the dark green. You know, it's a very specific green. I mean, it doesn't literally glow in the dark, but it's that green. You know what I'm saying? Love this. Oh my god, I'm so slayed by this Awakening card. Because this is being unplugged from the Matrix. That's what that moment is. And I think I said this in the video when I did my initial impressions of this deck, but I will forever see the Judgment card as being unplugged from the Matrix now because of this image. Like, this is like the definitive Judgment card in my mind now. I mean, I have a lot of favorite Judgment cards, but this one is really like the symbolism in this one is what I will be judging, what I will think of as the Judgment card forever now, thanks to Chase Voorhees. I feel like this card isn't really exuberant enough for me. I mean, I get the simplicity in it, and I get the symbolism. Like, these are, you know, there's the Justice card, here's the Strength card, there's maybe Wheel of Fortune because it's a little, no, that's a pomegranate, so that's like High Priestess. So like, she has learned all of these lessons and she's walking through the end of the cycle. So I get it symbolism wise, but it's just not quite as exuberant enough. Like, I would want something more colorful for a world card. Again, I keep not commenting on this, but it's just because apparently my brain isn't big enough to see them both at once. No, I'm just kidding. But it's because this one is just so traditional Rider-Waite-Smith that, like, you know, you're comfortable with this imagery, most likely, if you are a tarot person. God, I love the aces in this deck so much. The fact that we have, I mean, it's, let's just do it, you know, why not? You know, you've got a darker hand with nails on the Ace of Wands. You've got a white girl with black nails, Ace of Cups. You've got a black person's hand here. I mean, I'm just really happy about the diversity in Modern Witch. It is the best thing about it, really. I mean, the art is gorgeous, and I love that it's just very easy to understand. But also just having having people of color all throughout the deck. And it's not just like a handful here and there. Like most of my decks, if they have any people of color in them at all, it's like 5 or 10 cards at the most. But this deck has many, many, many. Like any spread, you're going to pull at least one person of color, even if you're only choosing 3 cards. I mean, it could be that you actually do end up with 3 white people, but most likely not with this deck. This one, I'm not super into this as a 2 of Wands. I mean, I guess she just left shore, so she's heading out on her journey. So I get it, but I wish that these were just like more literally looked like wands, since wand is not, it's, you know, it doesn't actually say wands on the card. I mean, you get it in comparison to the rest of the suit because the wands are all green. So it is, you know, it's just one that's going to take me a little bit to get used to, is all it is. I like this. Like, she's been working really hard. Now it's time to go outside and play. It's time to take a break. It's time to celebrate how far you've come. I like that. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on, Lisa Sturl. Come through. I'm glad she's gotten a lot of recognition for how awesome her deck is, and that's really cool for her. She's so young, too. I like the addition of, you know, a person in this 8 of Wands, you know? Brings you more into it. Like, you can tell what the 8 of Wands is by looking at it, but this brings that message home even further. I like this too. Like, she's gotten so much accomplished, and she's just like, she's sleeping with the asparagus, you know? Or was it asparagus? I don't know. I'm thinking of Gilmore Girls whenever Jackson had to like sleep with his crops because he was afraid of like there being a freeze or something, so he had heaters and he was like sleeping literally among them so he could make sure to keep the heaters going so that they didn't, you know, get frozen. This reminds me of that. Like protecting what you've built. Like literally, like you're ready to rest and you're almost there, but you're protecting what you've built. And for me, like even though this is that same concept, it's harder for me to see that because she just looks so paranoid, you know? Love the color choice here. Just because those happen to be 2 of my very favorite colors. I do not really, like, just, again, personal preference. Nothing against Chase Voorhees, who made an awesome deck. I did not make an awesome deck. I always have to have a disclaimer in there because I'm gonna say what I think, but I don't want, you know, creators to see this and feel bad, you know? I really don't want that. But I don't really like the court cards in Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I don't like, for the most part, I don't like their outfits. I don't like how, I mean, I get that, like, Tarot of the Holy Spectrum is about color stories. So I get why you would make a definitive choice on color. Like the wands are green throughout this suit, so why wouldn't the court cards be green? But I feel like they could be predominantly green and still get that point across without being completely green. It's just, for me, it's too monotone. There you go. That's my rant about the court cards. Look at that. God, seeing just like all different types of women in this modern witch. You know, like anyone on the female side of a giant gender spectrum you see in this deck, which I love. This Queen of Wands I do like, because there is a little tiny bit of a color difference, which there is not in the other ones. Love her too, oh my god. My next door neighbor, she has vitiligo, and the first day I noticed it, we were just out talking on her front lawn or something. And I guess like she noticed me noticing it and she was self-conscious about it. And I really wanted to come inside and grab this card and show it to her and be like, no, you're badass. You're cool. But I thought that might be a little weird. We're not there yet. Someday I will show her this card though. See, and then back to completely monochromatic. So the queen is the only one that gets another color in her card. And I think this is a great card. Love both of these. But like, again, like this is another one. I wish more cards were like this in Tarot of the Holy Spectrum, because I just really love how like this is like a vapor wavy vibe, you know? Again, oneness with like your spiritual self. I like that. But I love this too. Wish they just didn't look quite so serious, you know? Not super into this Three of Cups. Again, the only thing that I can connect to is that to me it kind of looks like The Cure a little bit, and it's my favorite band, so I can kind of bring it back around to that, because my initial reaction is, I don't really like this for Three of Cups, but then I'm like, okay, well, all right. Very similar vibes here. Nope, I've had enough. And I like that better than like you're being offered something and you're completely ignoring it because you're apathetic to life, which can be an interpretation for Four of Cups, but it's not always that. You know, I like it more that you can, like with either of these, well, with this one it's more like, yeah, you're definitely over it. You're literally over it. But with this, you could see, you know, he could be refusing that other cup even, well, and it kind of is. Okay, sorry, I'm talking myself out of my own thoughts. Because this is the cup being handed to you by divinity. This is the cup that has the sparkle on it. But he could be saying no, because he's like, I don't need any new shiny things. I already have these cups here. I am going to concentrate on what I have. And it could be a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe what you have is what you want, and maybe it isn't. So, I mean, either way, you're always going to be able to see it two different ways. Which is the beauty of tarot, right? So beautiful. Oh my God. Both of these are good. I love the little witchy hat, you know. I love the whimsy. I love a whimsical Seven of Cups. Because you can be whimsical with Seven of Cups. This guy's not okay, though. This guy's not okay with his Seven of Cups. I like the idea that it could be okay. Like, there are all these different options, and some of them are good, and some of them are not so good, you know. But this one is just like, everything's awful. It's just a lot of red. A lot of red in the cups. And it gives it sort of a more somber tone than I'm used to seeing the cups. Which, of course, emotions can always... They can be good or bad, but just a lot of red. Which was his color choice. And I was trying not to comment on that in the first video, and I got a comment from Boy Diviner that was like, no, I want to hear your color comments. So, there's one of them. Don't love the red for the cups. Which is interesting because I like red in the cups of my Dark Angels tarot. But again, here we've got that same court card issue. And the queen doesn't even get other color. It's just red and black. Just red and black. But I'm kind of picky about court cards because I tend to pull a lot of court cards. My sun and my ascendant are both in the same sign. So it's just, and I have a whole lot of planets in my first house in my sun sign. So I have a lot of, like, identity is such a big thing with me. I'm starting to learn more about astrology. That's why I'm applying it to that. But identity is such a big thing for me that I think that's why I pull a lot of court cards when I'm pulling for myself. So, you know, if I don't like the court cards, I'm going to be seeing them a lot. So this deck, I really like it, and I am drawn to it more than I thought I would be. So I'm going to give it a few months, but I'm not totally sure if it's going to be permanently a part of my collection. I like that she's wearing, like, this looks like metallic pants. They're kind of like mermaid pants, which I think is perfect for the Knight of Cups. I do think, like, conceptually this is good. You know, I think we didn't get any, like, I guess there's a little bit of yellow. So there's black, green, and yellow with the addition of an extra color in that court card. But in the, we got white, red, and black. Okay. And I can understand, like, I can understand how you can get to red for the cups, because it's, cups are emotion. Emotion is life. Blood is life. Like, I get it. And I'm a goth girl, so why am I not completely in love with a red and black storyline? But I guess I'm just like, I guess I just have this, like, sort of, like, cheesy girly side that just likes to see. I'm not even that drawn to, like, water imagery in general, but I'm just really into, like, the mermaid vibe that you get with a lot of tarot decks. Like, I'm just kind of stuck in that mermaid vibe for cups, which obviously not all decks should be the same. This one still bugs me. I don't like that he's not even paying attention to the offering that he's making to this person that's begging at his feet. I don't, like, we're probably not supposed to get that from this card, but that is what I get from it. And I don't want to see the King of Cups as being so, I don't know, selfish almost. Like, he's giving, but look how much he has. He's giving a little bit, but he's not. He should be kindly looking at this person. This person shouldn't be kneeling before him. I don't know. It's just too hierarchical. I mean, I get that it's the King of Cups, but I just don't like that. It bugs me. It's kind of, I mean, King of Cups doesn't have to be the most perfect card, but, like, having something that bugs me that much can sometimes be a deal breaker for a person like me who's trying to keep my tarot collection to 20 decks or less. So, because of that, I am extra picky. I like the colors in this. There's so much energy. It's being drawn down from the heavens into her sword, and I like that. Of course, you get that here, but this is just another way to show it, which is beautiful. Both good. I like seeing a slightly different moon phase, since we're so used to seeing like an eclipsing moon. I mean, this could still be an eclipse, it's just a different part of the eclipse. Love the colors here. This looks like Trent Reznor to me. I don't know. That kind of stuff, I just like when I'm reminded of a certain thing. You know, that's just how specific tarot symbolism can get for me. Like, if I see Trent Reznor every time I pull the Five of Swords, like, can I work that in? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But right now I have to move through that and be like, okay, so if this is Trent Reznor, what lyrics does he have that fit the Five of Swords that I can tie into, you know? Gathering together my relationship with the symbolism of a deck is such a process. Do you guys have that problem? It's almost like I really shouldn't be a person that's doing my first impressions on anything, because my first impressions are going to change, like, a lot. The colors. The colors in Modern Witch are so good. I mean, obviously the colors in Tarot of the Holy Spectrum are good too, but sometimes it's just too minimal. Like this is one of those cards that's just too minimal for me. There's too much negative space. And I that's just a personal preference thing, because like some people would really prefer that. But for me, it's like going from a card like this that has so much negative space to a card like this that has so many different beautiful textures. For me, it feels inconsistent. And again, that's just a personal thing, because like you can convey different things with having a spacious card versus a more texture moment. But for me personally, within the same deck, I don't know. That's just not my personal preference, is all it is. But here, this is also a minimal card, but it has that texture in it. Like this background isn't just a color, it has a texture. So this doesn't bother me. I guess I just prefer textures. I guess that's what it is. Like I can handle space if there's texture within that space. Again, just art preference bullshit. Art preference bullshit with Mixtress. This one's interesting because it's almost like there's a human figure in there somewhere, but it's covered in like a sheet, and then the swords are going through the sheet, but it's hard to tell like what's happening. Like probably these are the legs, but the head appears to be like missing or something. I don't know. Or that's just too small to be a head. Again, I see Trent Reznor. Why? And that's again, like me being reminded of Trent Reznor. First of all, I love Nine Inch Nails. I love Trent Reznor's ambient work that he's been doing the last 5 or 10 years. Love it, love it, love it. So this is not against Trent Reznor, but I do sort of view him as this kind of like whiny person that thinks he has more, that thinks that his emotions and opinions are more important than they actually are. So like every time I'm reminded of him, I think of that. There's too many thoughts in my head, guys. That's the problem. Wow, okay. So here's an example of like, this is not like the other court cards because there's a lot of gorgeous texture here. Look how her dress is made of clouds and so intricate, but it is still executed in a minimalist way. It's so powerful. I wish there was a bird though. Maybe I'll draw one in with a Sharpie. If I keep this deck, maybe I'll make myself a little bird up in the clouds. I like the idea of a person with a microphone having the ability to convey the truth. King of Swords is definitely like a pirate radio station DJ, But my God, look at this one. It's sort of like having her feet in this pink with the clouds and the butterflies and the birds and the trees. Obviously, these decks exist in different universes, so this is truly an unfair comparisons video, but I'm kind of a traditionalist with ace cards. Like, I want all of my ace cards to just be this kind of situation. If you're an alien deck, then have it be an alien hand. If you're a cat deck, have it be a cat paw, but I just want this. I just want the hand coming from the cloud of divinity offering the object from that suit. And anytime it's something else, I'm a little bit like, meh. But again, personal fucking opinions. I always feel like stupid doing these because I don't want to be overly critical of other people's art. And I know I constantly like go off on this same tangent every time I'm comparing decks. But I so appreciate that different people are putting their ideas into it, and it needs to be that way. There needs to be different ways to view this archetypal energy. And I have just as much appreciation for someone that redoes a classic like Lisa Sturl versus someone that's bringing something new to the table. Haha, bringing something new to the table? Yeah. Like Chase Voorhees is doing. This again, though, okay, I'm going back to it. This feels a little too hierarchical, because this guy is like, look, make it like this, boys. Do as I have done, which is total perfection. And then these people are down below him, you know, trying to do it. Whereas the person that has the high ground in this scenario is the model. Like, the model is the one that feels like none of these people feel like they're someone that should be getting more respect than the others, if that makes sense. Like, this person is not like, I am almighty teacher. Like, this person looks like, I am almighty teacher. Like, he's doing the Wonder Woman pose. And she is, you know, proud of herself. She's happy with where she is. I don't know. I just get so much, like, more of a teamwork aspect from this card than I do here. Here it's not teamwork, it's just you're learning how to execute something for this person. Like, you're doing things for this person to support this person. Is it supporting you? Do these people want to be doing that? You know, it's bringing, again, I'm bringing my own psychological drama to the table there. But, to the table, yeah, sorry. This one's interesting, though. Like, the idea that in the forest, you have all that you need. This is where this person feels, this is this person's, like, spiritual place where they can go and regather. I like that. I like this too, like I said when I was first. This is a good way to convey Five of Pentacles. You're looking for this. You're searching for it, but you don't realize you've already dug it up. You had it right there on your shovel. You just had it. It's still there. It's cool. I don't know why. Again, stupid shit. This is what this is about. But I don't like their little shorts. I do not like their little shorts, and it distracts me. Anyway. And how the identities of the people that are receiving the gifts that these two individuals are giving, they're just hands, you know? Sorry, I just took a drink and then spit everywhere. This is why you wear a mask, people. I don't know. I have a problem with Six of Pentacles a lot of the time. If it doesn't feel like equal giving, which both of these kind of don't. Like, this one doesn't feel quite as judgy as a lot of Six of Pentacles can, but just the fact that these two people are, like, kneeling and begging. I don't love that. I just don't love it. I guess that's just, maybe that's how you're supposed to see the Six of Pentacles, and I just don't want to see it that way. I want to see it as just more of a karmic balance. Like, you are giving what you have before received. You know, you're not better than the people that you're giving to. You know, like, if you have this mentality that when you give some money to a homeless person that you are better than them because you have money and they don't. And I feel like that's the vibe that I get from both of these Six of Pentacles cards, honestly. Anyway. I don't like how, like, dissatisfied she looks. Because I think of Seven of Pentacles, yes, you're taking a step back. You're assessing things. You're going to make some changes with the way that you're doing things. As you progress. As you've learned a little bit about it, it's time to alter your approach a bit. But she just looks a little too dissatisfied for me. But she's cute. And this is interesting, too. I didn't get this when I was first doing the flip through, but I get it now, like how it's getting more and more refined. You're like, through repetitive task work, you are refining your process. So that's cool. I like that. I like the symbolism there. And of course, this is actually like Lisa Sturl working on this deck, which I love. Like, if you're gonna put yourself, I think I've said this before, but if you're gonna, I think it's totally within your rights. If you're creating a tarot deck, you can put yourself in every single fucking card if you want to. But I like it when, like, if you're gonna do it and people are gonna know which card is you. I like that she chose a card like Eight of Pentacles. She chose a card that is about hard work and learning your craft and progressing. She didn't choose like Queen of Pentacles. You know, she didn't choose something that's just like, I don't know, a little too full of yourself. This is not a full of yourself depiction. Like, if you're choosing to represent yourself in a card, I think it's just cool and humble of Lisa Sturl to put herself in the Eight of Pentacles, because it's about her working on the deck. It's just, it deepens it for me almost, you know. It makes me feel like I don't feel like even though I could never do beautiful art the way that she does it, you know, I'm not there. But it just makes me feel included in her process almost. Like, she doesn't think she's better than me. She's just working really, really hard. And if I worked really, really fucking hard, maybe I could do it too, you know? Again, what's with the shorts? I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just, the shorts are triggering to me. And why does she look like she's just like a model hanging out chewing on a pentacle? I don't know. But I love this so much. And I love that she's kind of an older, like, she's not old. There could be a little bit better age representation in this particular deck. There is some. There isn't any in this deck. There's really not diversity in this Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. I mean, most of the people are like literally like green or blue or something, so they don't have to be a particular race, but you can tell that they're pretty much white people in Tarot of the Holy Spectrum. So that's another reason that this deck might not stick around, because I really want to have more diverse decks, and being that I'm keeping it to 20. I like this though. Gathering at the table. This is like Thanksgiving, you know? I like that. Again, the shorts. I don't know why it bugs me. I think it's just because it looks like underwear to me, and I'm just like, why? I'm just like imagining somebody like in tighty whitey, but longer version. Like, why? Why can I not look past it? I don't know. Just not a fan of most of the court cards, but I think I like all of the queens though. Let's get them out here in a second so we can look at them all together. How fucking perfect is this Queen of Pentacles? Like, when I was first following the progress of this deck, I was thinking, okay, she's doing a great job, but she better do right by the Queen of Pentacles. And then when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, it's perfect. Oh my god, it's perfect. She's such a great Queen of Pentacles. And the fact that the rabbit is there, and like every single little piece of like important symbolism to me as like a Rider-Waite-Smith person, like, it is my primary symbolism, the way that I learned tarot, and I love that deck. I just wish it was more diverse, and this is the answer to that. You know, I love that deck, but I wish it was more diverse, and Lisa Sturl did it. She did it. Lisa Sturl, if you're watching this, which probably you aren't, because this is the most popular deck ever, so like, you'll never see this, but I love what you did. I'm so happy it exists. I just wish I could shuffle the damn cardstock. But that's not your fault. This one's really great too. I mean, it really truly is. So I like all the textures. Like, even though it's just yellow and black, it has texture in it. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all are the best. Yeah. Oh, I'll just do a little, because I don't always do it. Do a little self-promotion moment. All of my readings right now are 40% off, and I added some 10-minute readings, and they're usually $10, but since they're 40% off right now, all of my 10-minute readings are $6 right now. So that'll go on until at least like August, and I'll probably like reset it even after that. But I'd love to read for you if you would like to have a reading from me. I hope you guys have a great day. Hey, Mercury's direct again, guys. Yay. I don't know why I'm doing a thumbs up, but live long and prosper, kids.